What is it, YouTube? Joe here from Zephyrwargames. I'm bringing to you guys the deck profile for a very spicy Shinegreymon deck. This has been a pet project of mine, using proxies when the new stuff got revealed and everything, trying to finalize the combos and ratios to get it into a way that I feel like may not still be the best way to play Shine, but is definitely a very fun way of playing it. And if you want to play your favorite Greymon, which is Shine at this point, in this case, but in a way that is very different to everybody else, this is definitely a build for you. So, before I get into it, if you enjoy it, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell, because if you enjoy person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on their content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. All the support has been greatly appreciated, and thank you guys all so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into this list. So already you can see, even just starting with the A, this is very different, being 4 copies of the BT9 Coremon for the 1k boost if you're a Greymon name. The point of this build, and you'll see it in the combo at the end, is that we're not prioritizing Marcus to do the necessary damage for the game. We are actually utilizing the Greymon stack that we're building to do all the damage for us. So we're going for this Coremon for that extra 1k, so that way we can survive the security checks as much as possible. Though we are still playing Marcuses in the deck because they are still part of the combos. So we are using the BT12 Agumon here for the searching of the Greymon name and a Marcus. But because we are Greymon searching as well, we are playing 4 copies of the BT9 Agu X for the additional search, as well as just being an X antibody, giving you that free extra draw as well. To round out the rookies, we are playing 3 copies of BT21 Agumon. You're never going to be doing the warp ability because, well, actually, no, there are moments you can. If your opponent does have a level 6 or higher Digimon on the board, you can actually just like warp to Shinegreymon. This can combo nicely with your Marcuses as well. But this is mostly here for a Marcus, for an Agu name with Dinosaur trait that also just gives a DP buff. Nice straight up 2000 buff is very, very handy. As we are a Greymon deck doing Greymon things, we are using this engine of 4 copies of ST1 Greymon and 1 copy of Greymon X for the cheap Evo. Considering you are playing Wise Greymons, and one of them does only have a cheaper cost on a Geo Greymon, this Greymon X can come in very handy, making it not a 4 cost but a 2 cost Evo. But you're mostly using this for the Sec plus 1 for the Greymon, so you can get as many checks as possible. I was toying around with my other Greymon list, the War Greymon list, which you can see here on the channel, utilizing the BT5 Greymon for the extra memory and Greymon X's. In the end, I just kind of like just went and just picked this Geo Greymon. It plays well. It means that you have essentially 2 modes to play in this deck, but you can still just utilize this as just a nice strong DP buff Greymon in your stack. Your level 5s are just all Wise Greymon, so they will just naturally evolve on this for just cheaper cost. But yeah, this is mostly here for the DP buff, but also in worst case scenario, you can just essentially utilize this as a pseudo Shine list. And that way the Geo Greymon does come in handy for your Tamer playing combos. For our primarily level 5, we are playing 4 copies of the BT22 Rise Greymon. This just naturally has a free cost on any Greymon name, so it just does naturally work well with your starter deck 1 Greymon. This is here mostly for the Tamer play and this Sec plus 1 inherent, while also being called Rise Greymon. That means your Shine Greymons can just evolve this on for free memory. For our other level 5s, until we actually get a good offensive red style Rise Grey X, we are utilizing the BT21 Rise Greymon. This is just here for, again, you know, an extra hyper aggression part of the deck. We can just, in the early stages, you can just like promote a 5, use this, go promote your Marcus, use them, do some very strong chip swings, which is very, very handy. For our main boss monster deck is 4 copies of the AD01 Shinegreymon. This is primarily your go-to card, so what this card does is that it can evolve for free memory on a Greymon name or a data squad trait. We don't have the data squad trait yet. We're getting that in the future. This has Alliance and Blocker and an on Evo when attacking. In fact, once per turn, you may play one Marcus Daemon from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then for one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for each of your Digimon and Tamers until the end of their turn. So it's a very nice strong DP buff, DP minus effect. And all turns once per turn when any of your Marcus Daemons is played or suspends by delete, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. You can get some very nice board clears in this deck, which is very, very handy in combination with your raid from Greymon. In one testing against Billy, I managed to promote a Greymon, swing raid over a guy, go into this, pop a body, play a Marcus, DP minus one thing because the Tamer got suspended, and then pop another body for the Shinegreymon. So you can get some very nice board clears with this deck. And this is by primarily utilizing this Shinegreymon, and you'll see it in the combos as well. Your other Shinegreymon that we're playing is 2 copies of the BT21 Shinegreymon. This is your other hyper-aggressive Shine in this deck. Can evolve for free on a Greymon or a hero trait. And has Raid, Evo when attacking, delete an opponent's Digimon with 9,000 DPLS, and when attacking once per turn you may suspend a red Tamer, and if you do, this guy gets one second +1 and a 3k boost. For your essentially Omni for game is 3 copies of the burst mode here from BT13. You don't really want to play anything else. Ruin mode doesn't fit this deck's playstyle in the sense that Ruins are more of a control style, whereas this deck is just being hyper aggro as fast as humanly possible. You know, red Greymon deck does red Greymon deck things. Moving into the Tamers, we're playing 4 copies of the AD01 Marcus Daemon and Agumon. This is a 5-cost Tamer that when this Tamer suspends, you can draw 1. Then one of your Digimon may evolve into a yellow Digimon with Greymon in its name in the hand with Digivolution cost reduced by 3. So just do bear that in mind if you're trying to tech it outside of it. You can't use this to go into this Wise Greymon as a red-black. At the end of your turn, if you have a yellow Digimon with Agumon and Greymon in its name, for the turn, one of your Marcus Daemons is also treated as a 6k Digimon with Rush, can't evolve, and then one of your Digimon may attack. This card is always treated as Marcus Daemon. As also do bear that in mind if this is the only Digimon on your board. I've made that misplay a few times. As you know, the old days you're so used to just everything just needing a Greymon name, but later, as the game has been progressing with the Marcus support, they kind of like narrowed it down to like you need a yellow one so you can't, you know, mix it with ties and that kind of stuff. The other Tamer we're playing in this deck is a spicy one, which is 3 copies of the BT17 Marcus Daemon. Now, the reason we were playing this and not any of the other Marcuses is that this is the only Marcus that on play just naturally just makes a Marcus a Digimon. This comes in very important as it combos with these guys to actually play a Tamer, which is instantly treated as a Digimon, so that way you have an alliance target if your board is literally empty and has nothing else. I like to prep my decks for like sometimes the worst case scenario. And in this case, the worst case scenario is that you have nothing else on your board and you're promoting up your stack. You can go into Rise, play this guy for free, and then instantly becomes a Digimon. Then you can go into a new Shinegreymon, play out another body. So you can play out this Marcus, and then you can swing. You'll see it in the combo at the end, but that's basically the gist of it. What this card does also is that on play, one of your Marcus Daemons becomes a Digimon with 3k attack and a blocker. And when this Tamer suspends, one of your Digimon gets a plus 3k boost. And if you have a Digimon with Agumon Greymon's name, gain a single memory, which is very, very handy. To round out the deck, we're playing 4 copies of Offense Training. We need to see our Tamers and our Digimon, everything in between. If you want to, and you picked it up, you can swap one of these for the newest trainings from the LM set, as it has a very strong security effect, but this is just works just as fine. And we're playing to round up 3 copies of Digital Gate Open. We need to see our Digimon, we need to see our Tamers, and this can also play our Tamers for cheaper as well if you want to combo it with this Geogame here. So that is the deck profile. I'm going to scoop it all up and essentially show you the initial combo in this deck that allows Shinegreymon to do as much damage as it possibly can. There's probably other ways to get it more security checks, but this is the way that I'm essentially built it, and as you know, quickly as you can possibly can. So we'll catch you Tamers in a minute. And we're back, Tamers, here with the setup. I'm showing you the bare minimum setup that you can probably see, I'm not including things like Greymon X here, as it's like a limited card. But this is essentially what you'd be seeing for your big one kill finish. Again, going from as most security, which is your opponent having 5 security, you can pull off this combo. So you're going to be promoting out your stack here from the back, and you can either straight away go into the Shinegreymon, who can then on evolve play out your Marcus, and your Marcus becomes a Digimon. Or if you promote it out from Shinegreymon, this still perfectly works, as you'll be next going into your Shinegreymon here, which also just plays out a Marcus Tamer as well. So you have 2 instances of playing out a Tamer, so you can then go off from there. You don't have to push out from a level 4. You can raise into the back, wait out a little bit, and push up into a level 5. Obviously, if you do push out as a Greymon, play Greymon to play the Marcus, when you go into Shinegreymon, you can then play this Marcus as well. So you have, if you need 1 additional check, you'll see at the end, this Marcus can perform that 1 more additional check for you as well. So you're going to be pushing out, going into your Shinegreymon, getting out your Marcus Tamers here, and then you can start swinging. So now you're going to be swinging with the Shinegreymon here, using the Alliance to suspend this Marcus Tamer, who's going to give you an extra 3k boost and additional memory. This is going to become a 3k body by its own, so it's going to gain essentially 6k from this Marcus, making Shinegreymon here 18. And if you have this Agumon here, you're going to be 20, and you're going to be 21 here with the egg all the way going out. So you're going to be doing 1, 2, 3, 4 checks here straight away, which is absolutely fantastic as a Greymon fan. 4 checks done at your opponent's security here. From there, as you can obviously probably tell as a Shinegreymon player, you're going to just be bouncing out back your Tamer, going into the burst mode here, which is then going to play the Tamer back for you as a 12k wash body. This is going to swing. The burst mode there is going to trash 1 security being checked as a Tamer suspends, and then you're going to do your final check for game. Obviously, as this Tamer has suspended twice, you essentially gains 2 memory back, which basically means that your Shinegreymon there only costs 1 memory to do so. And let's say your opponent had 6 security here, you needed 1 more swing for game, just pay some memory to pass turn over. This Marcus then comes out as a 6k wash body, and then again, a Digimon can attack. Marcus can then swing and do 1 additional check there. So essentially this whole entire combo can do you 7 checks, which is absolutely fantastic. And then that way, if you wanted to play Marcus or Shinegreymon in a way that essentially Shinegreymon is doing a lot of the work for you, doing essentially the initial checks, instead of just like doing multiple swings, multiple Marcuses a turn, this is the way that you can go off and do it. Guys, I hope you all enjoyed this fancy way of playing Shinegreymon. It's just a build that I've been very much enjoying, as you can all tell, as a Greymon fan, as a Wargreymon fan. I really just do enjoy pushing out 1 big giant dragon, just turning it sideways and just doing all the checks that you can possibly can. And I just felt like, what can we do with Shinegreymon? Shinegreymon is a really cool design. Let's just see if we can get it done for Shine as well. And, you know, I felt very pleased with the results here. Obviously, stay tuned to the channel. There will be a more standard build for Shinegreymon coming up down the line, so do stay tuned for that, as well as many other deck profiles from AD01. We're really cooking up here with Appmon, Gallantmon, Gammamon, all that kind of stuff as well, so do stay tuned for that. As always, guys, like, comment and subscribe. Till next time, as always, stay safe and of course, happy dueling.